When's my next emote slot? Okay, so Coder, don't kill me. I have like 2 that I just have not had. I keep forgetting that I have like 2 open slots to make new stuff with. Don't hate me, okay?
According to the junk dealer, the Cairo hourglass
I gotta get on that.
fragile.
I gotta figure out what I need to do, and I gotta get on that. Got a cue for you. So I don't remember my dreams. If I don't get woken up unexpectedly, it's as if I don't have them.
That's a little something from the junk dealer. Sam?
But if I'm having nightmares in the night but never remember having them, does it still somehow subconsciously affect me? I don't... Lizard, I don't have like a professional answer to that.
To think he made a thing like that out of
From
junk
my understanding, it can.
like his shouldn't go
In
to
the
waste.
same way that like some kind of subconscious processing, like we can sometimes sorry, hold on a second. That like sometimes we, when our subconscious is processing things, like it'll kind of carry with us. I know in my own personal experience that that has been the case, where like I've woken up and felt really weird and wondered why, and had a sense that it was probably because I had some kind of night terror that I didn't remember, but I don't know any research or anything about it. I wish I could answer that, but I don't know. All right, Uncle Bill, if that means you're going to bed, have a good night. Good morning to you, Bonnie. I know. I have more emotes. I gotta get on that. I'm sorry. Oh, that's okay. That's really cool, Dirt. Baker, good evening. Okay, so I got 60 minutes. Wait, what? What did I leave here? It's just super confusing. I had a dream where I was a seance, and it was... Oh, there we go. Okay. Then someone grabbed a Ouija board and said, "How many people have you killed?" And then someone there loomed at me and said, "I'm Satan, his son, and I am death." And then I woke up at 3 and I haven't slept since. It's just like, where did that come from? Your guess is as good as mine, dude. I have often... I get these crazy dreams sometimes that don't seem like they fit within anything my brain ever thinks about or synthesizes. I honestly, dude, even if I was your therapist, I wouldn't be much of a help with that. Raid emote, perhaps? That wouldn't be a bad idea. Do we need an emote ideas channel in Discord? You can put it in stream suggestions. Whoa, wait a minute. What the hell? I don't understand what's happening right now. This is ridiculously confusing. More than happy to share some of the stuff I explore all this new stuff. I'm sure I'll have some successes inventing in Discord along the way. That's totally fine with me, Staircase. I just look forward to hearing it. Oh my god. All right, sorry. I'm like behind on chat. Coconut Man emote. We have one. I could move the Coconut Man emote over to tier 1 subs. The Coconut Man emote is actually available for people who are tier 3 subs. A Cletus emote. I know, for how often I've been playing this game, having some kind of Death Stranding related emote would be kind of funny. But I could move that Coconut Man emote. I'm not opposed to doing that. But I agree. Yeah, so Zach and Lizard, I'm sorry I can't be more helpful with the dream stuff, but dream stuff has eluded me for a large chunk of my life also. Which you would think that I would take time to actually like analyze it better and research it, given that it's something that affects me personally, but I haven't really. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. We're off to a bad start. This is not good. Get off of me. I have binge eating disorder. I wanted to know if you have any ideas for coping mechanisms or things to distract myself during an episode. The other night I had an episode for 4.5 hours. I couldn't stop thinking about binging the entire time, even with trying to distract myself. It was one of the first times I haven't given in, though, so I'm very proud of myself. Okay, well, first of all, Gummy, you should be very proud of yourself. And also, I don't take for granted that you just shared that with all of us. Second, so eating disorders are a very unique type of disorder that I actually do not have much training with working on. I actually make referrals for eating disorders because of the fact that I am not trained in working with them. So coping mechanisms for eating disorders are very unique to the person because the manifestation of a person's eating disorder and what triggers them to have an episode is so unique to the person. I would say, honestly, Gummy, off of what you just said, the fact that you fought through the anxiety and discomfort of that and ended up not giving in, that's a huge freaking deal. So really the only thing that I could say that would be of any help is, one, give yourself a shitload of credit for the fact that you didn't give into it, and two, probably, like, I mean, in general, I usually recommend when something really good happens like that, that a person really sit and pay attention to what it was that gave them the energy and the power to do that, and really trying to reward that desirable behavior. I was just wondering where in my brain that crap would come from. Dude, sometimes I'll have dreams where it's like loosely based off of something I randomly saw in a commercial like 2 weeks ago. It's wild the way your brain processes information. This game is great with music, and I keep hearing really good things about the ending, Goof Off, so I'm looking forward to getting there. I wonder if dream analyzing really makes sense. You know, in some psychoanalytic theories, it does. It's all very abstract. Do you have any advice on how to deal with rejection? Oh, man. Yes, but I would need more information because rejection is, like, there's many different ways that rejection manifests itself. So if you want to give me a little bit more details, Anthony, I may be able to give you something more useful. How do I place an order for some Earth-cursed pizza? Just dial it up, man. Yeah, my training consisted of refer to specialists when we heard about eating disorders. Yeah, I mean, that's something that eating disorders are their own animal. And I don't say that in like a derogatory way. It's just there are so many unique stressors that come along with eating disorders alongside the nutritional aspect of it and the physiological aspect of it that it requires a specialized treatment more than just talk therapy. Well, that's what we're here for, Gummy. I hope we get to see you a lot because this is why I have the channel for, and the community here is absolutely incredible. So we are still in the 3rd chapter of the game. That is correct, Skog. Seems no social media influencer is safe from hate is what I saw with arguing on your behalf to Discord people.
Delivering cargo.
Yeah, man. And I can take it. I mean, I'm not gonna appeal to everybody. Not everybody's gonna give a shit about what I have to say. I'm secure enough about who I am to know that. I don't do this stream to appease everybody. I do this stream to do my best. So I mean, I appreciate you fighting for me, but you really don't have to do that, Titan. If you ever find that to be distressing or annoying or a pain in your ass, you don't have to fight on my behalf.
Nothing that can't be fixed. I still can't believe it survived.
I am sorry that you had that experience, though, dude. That sucks. Rejection is in not getting a job, people not finding you attractive. Well, rejection is kind of so. Okay, how do I want to put this? Rejection is one of those things that will run rampant
I'm on the
based
one and only
on
Chiral
our
Network now.
self-talk as it
That's
relates to
wonderful.
that.
I'm
Like-
happy to be a part of the UCA.
So I'm going to pause this really quick while I say this. So I have this conversation a lot with people. Usually it's in the realm of talking about confidence as opposed to talking about rejection, but I think it applies. And here's the analogy that I use. I know it's a bit heteronormative, so just bear with me on it for a second. It doesn't have to be heteronormative, but it's just easier for me to do it this way. So a confident person is a person who accepts that rejection is just part of the deal. And a person with high self-esteem is somebody who often can wrap their head around the fact that not everybody is going to get along with them and like them. The analogy I use is it's like the guy in college who gets laid is the guy who goes to a bar, for example, and will approach a woman or a man or whatever he's into, will approach a person wanting to flirt, get to know them, potentially go home, do their thing, right? The person who's confident, the person who's successful at that is the one who will, when they go up to the person, if the person says no, or the person gives hints that they're not into it, or just straight up says, I'm not interested, it's the person who moves on and says, yep, that's okay. I can handle that. So great. Thank you for being direct with me. I'm going to move on. And they keep going. That's confidence. There are two ways in which that exchange becomes debilitating as it's related to rejection. If the person sees that as rejection and has a very poor self-esteem, what they may do is completely give up and say, you know what? F this. I'm not good enough. This happens every time. Like, it's because I'm the worst. It's because blah, blah, blah. And then they're in their own head about it and they leave the bar. And there very, very well could have been several people at that bar that would have been interested in meeting you. Or there's the person who is arrogant and will not see rejection, who then becomes pushy or overcompensates for the rejection because they will basically say in their mind, I can't be rejected. I can't possibly be rejected. And they will overdo it, and they will not back off and move on like they need to. So I see the ability to handle rejection as being, one, acknowledging that rejection happens. And oftentimes it's because of circumstances that are so not even in your control that to put it all on yourself is a distortion in and of itself. Two is if we take rejection and we internalize that to a point that it starts to orient our entire world, you will start to notice things and perceive them as rejection that are not actually rejection. And then we'll act upon it as if it's a rejection, and that can cause problems for people. So it's recognizing that rejection is part of life and that rejection is a perspective. It could be that it was just a boundary that was set and it was a healthy boundary for that person to set. But because they set that bar and you see it as rejection, then all of a sudden it's got this whole meaning thing that goes off the rails. So rejection is something that runs off the rails when people's meaning that they make of it is not healthy. It was a super long answer, and I have no idea if that actually answered it in the way that was helpful for you, Anthony, but that's kind of my perspective on the way that rejection and confidence works. That's what people with good self-esteem, high self-esteem have, is they can acknowledge that not everybody's going to like them. So it's actually really interesting, like Titan, when you were saying, you know, not all, like no influencers are, I would hardly call myself that, but like that they're not impervious to critique. Like, I get that. There's going to be people throughout the entire time that I do this stream. There will always be somebody who thinks I'm an idiot or doesn't like what I'm doing or isn't into it. And if I sat and thought about that and spent a ton of time wallowing on that, it would destroy the entire stream. I'm just here doing my best. And you guys keep coming back. That's reinforcement enough for me to think that I'm doing something right. So that's a big, long answer, but that's what I got. Yeah, I know, Victoria.
Welcome
I
aboard.
know. Seriously? Holy shit. Hi. Hello, friends of Zine. Welcome in. I have no idea what Zine told you about me. Those of you who haven't met me before, I'm Dr. Mick. I'm a licensed couple and family therapist in the state of Illinois. I have a PhD in human development. This is Game Sessions with the Therapist, where I talk about mental health, therapy, psychology, and all sorts of fun stuff while I play games. I don't do therapy on stream, but I am here to give mental health resources, answer questions in general terms, help point people in the right direction. The community here is absolutely incredible, and you will love the people that are here. I promise you. Zine, I appreciate the raid. Lobro, thank you very much for the sub, dude.
You're gonna love this.
I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, usually in the afternoons. Tonight I'm streaming at night.
You're gonna love
Friday,
this.
Saturday, Sunday evenings at 11:30 p.m. Central Time. Welcome in.
You're gonna love
I'm currently
this.
playing Death Stranding, which is a great game for me to be able to walk around and
you're
answer
gonna love
questions.
this.
We actually just had a lovely conversation about how to handle rejection.
Hey, you're gonna love
So,
this.
welcome in. Feel free to ask me questions and whatnot.
You're gonna love
I have a YouTube channel, by the way, if you want daily mental health tidbits. I'm here for you.
Hey, you're gonna love this.
I hope you stay and hang out. All these follows that are coming in: Scarlett,
you're gonna
Christine,
love this.
P-Deck, Bonsai, Gay is Okay, Hey It's Sarah, CJ Squared,
You're gonna love
Caitlin, Hello KT. Ooh, that's interesting. Sham, thank you very much for the follows. I appreciate it. Welcome in. That's all right, D. No worries. I will end up clipping that when I do my mental health tidbits, because that came out a lot more elegantly than I thought it was going to. So, yes, this game is absolutely beautiful, hypnotic. Oh, by the way, though I'm playing games, I focus primarily on chat. I spend a lot of time interacting with people while I play, as opposed to paying attention to the game. So do not be afraid to chat with me and to chat with each other while you're here, because I'm here for the viewers. I'm not really here for the game. So, but yeah, welcome in. Zach, thank you for that tip, dude. It was very kind of you to do. I appreciate it.
My mother and I barely escaped.
I have no idea who this girl is. Absolutely no idea. But I know that the guy that's at that distribution center that I was just at knows her somehow. So
I just didn't know.
anyway, if somebody said something to me after I talked about the whole rejection bit, I missed it because of the raid. So please feel free to at me again and let me know what you said so that I didn't miss it.
My mother never
I was
liked
talking about, before I left, by the way,
She
or
made
before the
it
raid,
pretty
we were
clear.
talking about rejection, and somebody had asked me about handling rejection,
didn't say
and I was talking about it in the
as
framework
well
of
as
confidence,
deny.
where rejection is oftentimes is a
So when she
perception,
said,
and it's oftentimes
died.
perceptions of certain
you're gonna
boundaries,
love this.
I
and
believed her.
we have a tendency to internalize rejection in such a way that it causes problems for us
Until I
because the
heard
meaning
that
we make of it
message.
gets off the rails, as opposed to acknowledging something as just being what it is, maybe a boundary,
It's really
or having a bunch more context than maybe we're even capable of comprehending at the time. And that confidence is the ability to keep going despite the fact that you've been rejected, because
should
rejection
never have given
or
up.
boundaries are ultimately a part of life.
Deep down, I knew he was out there somewhere. But I couldn't leave my mother all alone.
I'm
So
sorry,
I tried to
Victoria.
make my peace with it. Only I couldn't. Not even if I do wanted to.
Good night, Rosalind.
I was stuck
I'll
in
try
the
and keep it
past,
down for Victoria.
unable to move on.
I should have paused it. I should have paused it. I'm so sorry. You guys like my glasses?
Take me to him. I'm begging you. I'm ready to go. Right now, if you want. Just say you'll take me.
I look so ridiculous. Am I gonna have to carry her on my back? I wonder if I'm gonna have to carry her like I carried my mother. That's the link to the Discord, Caitlin. By the way, there are mental health resources in there. Sorry for talking over that cutscene. I know. I'm sorry, Bonnie. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the VOD. Yeah. Seriously, Goof Off? That's awesome. Okay, so this is a human delivery. Yeah, right. All right, here we go. We're gonna carry her in the same way we carried my mother. Zine, what is it about you rating me on the times where I have to carry people instead of items?
Configured to fire hermetic rounds. Bullets loaded with your own blood.
I worked in a state hospital in Blackfoot, Idaho for a year and a half, and it really helped me understand the layers there are to mental health and how important it is. I love this in the stream and what you do. Well, thank you very much, PDEC. I appreciate that. That's why I do this, because there's not enough mental health information out there.
Transporting a living human. It goes without saying that any falls or heavy impacts.
So I do this to try to make mental health information more accessible to people who wouldn't otherwise have it.
Hey, you're gonna love.
So I do mental health topic days with lectures. I do a segment called Find Me a Therapist, where I help viewers find a therapist in their area. We review profiles and stuff. Pretty cool. I'm gonna shut up for the cutscene. Never mind. She's about to get in her
I'll hold the
body bag.
hourglass. I don't want it to break.
This is so awkward. What's the purpose, Rain?
Order assigned.
Because the people are metaphors for the troubles and worries we shoulder ourselves with every day, having collected them through our lives and from our past without the ability to recognize the futility of transporting the heavy load or ultimate realization that we can define ourselves and what we want to bring up with us. Dude, you have a way with words, man. Anyone ever told you that, Zine? Whether written or spoken. I guess I'm leaving the speed skeleton. I'm all right with that. Oh my God. Human transport. Here we go. Yeah, why can't she walk? Why do I gotta care? Okay, whatever. I'm not even gonna ask that question. People around me think that I should be over the death of my dad. My husband's grandma passed away at the end of September, and her memorial service was a major trigger, and I've been struggling mentally ever since. I have never understood the pressure that people put on others to grieve quicker. Grief is a process that takes a long ass time, and honestly, the idea that you're ever like fully over something is a little bit ridiculous to me. So I'm sorry to hear that you're like that. People are saying you should be over it. I honestly think that the reason people say that is because other people's grief makes them uncomfortable, and they have low distress tolerance for that, and they kind of don't know what to do. And grief is something that just takes time. It's how grief works. I appreciate you sharing that, Vanessa. I will show this to people, and I will sub to you on YouTube. You'll get my Twitch Prime when I get to. Wow, that is incredibly kind of you, PDEC. Seriously, thank you for sharing me to people you know. I'm trying to grow the community so that more and more people can get access and be part of this amazing community. I love Zine, by the way. If somebody didn't put a shout out for Zine, please do that. Also, whoever just anonymously gifted that sub to PDEC, that was very kind of you to do. But shout out to Zine as well for having an incredible community. I'm so glad that we have cross-pollination with our communities because I admire yours very much. So I'm really glad to have all of you here. By the way, all of you who stayed through the raid and then through an ad or whatever the hell else you had to deal with through the raid and are still hanging out here with me, I really appreciate that. Okay, I'm guilty of bailing on raids, and I appreciate that you're staying and hanging out with all of us. Apparently, it can help ward off the black monsters if you pee on the ground in front of them or something. That's okay. Did you ever play Injustice Gods Among Us? I did not, Titan. I'm being 100% serious when I ask this. Is there a disorder where I can't stand 99% of other people as I avoid everyone? I'm wondering if something's wrong with me or if that's normal. Off the top of my head, I don't know, Zach. There may be. I do not have a vehicle with me right now, Goof, no. And I don't mind walking. He was my rock, for God's sakes. My dad and I were super duper close, and it will be 2 years as of this Saturday. Well, whenever people talk about a deceased relative, Vanessa, I always like to ask them what's their favorite memory of that person. If you'd like to share, you certainly don't have to. But that's, I always like to ask that. Pets, people, or otherwise. And yeah, grief is a personal thing. And it's relative to what is being grieved. And I don't believe anybody should ever tell anybody how to grieve. I really don't. Now, I get it when people have to set boundaries with somebody because the way their grief is manifesting in the relationship is one way. But if you're grieving the way you need to grieve, do it. If anyone ever says get over it to me, it's a ridiculous notion, Zach. Apparently it can help. Wait. Let's see. Right, this music's great. This game is great. I love this game. What if the person's grieving for more than 40 years and they still can't talk about the loved one that passed away? I would ask that person if talking about the person who passed away is something that they want to do. Do they experience the inability to talk about, or the choice not to? It's not really an inability so much as it is a choice not to. Are they choosing not to do it because that's what they want to do, or because they feel like they have to, or because they're not ready, or whatever it might be? I think it's going to be relative to the meaning that the person's making out of the fact that they're not spending time talking about that person. There's a point where it stops being something they're handling and experiencing and becomes something they're clutching and weaving into themselves. And that is, again, it's so relative to the person. So relative to the person. I mean, I know when my parents die, it's going to be a really hard thing for me, and it's going to take me quite a while to get acclimated to the fact that they're no longer available. But it's just, I don't know. I like doing, I know this sounds really weird, but I like doing grief work as a therapist because you learn, I think, so much about a person and their relationships through the way that they grieve. And to me, it's just fascinating how we all have different ways of doing it. A friend of mine had an idea for school. Would teach regular subjects in other schools in that age group would teach, but also have lots of projects that amplify the subjects being taught, as well as teach how those skills are applied in the real world. That is definitely interesting, dude. Sitting on a tractor with him while it was silage time and just talking about deep stuff. The way after Mom passed away and how much closer we got, the way he held my hand and told me that we'll get through this. That is some cool stuff, Vanessa. I appreciate you sharing that. I remember when my dad used to mow the lawn, I used to sit on his lap, and it was something that I really cherished. So I feel a sense of connection with that. Maybe you got a carrier because the BTs will eat her? That could be. Oh, thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Try not to think about how she has an itch on her thigh she can't itch, because if you think about it, then you'll feel okay, so just full disclosure, I would feel so comfortable in the suit that she's wearing right now. I love being swaddled like that, and to me, that looks so just comforting. Other than the fact that I'd be super motion sick, I would love to be rolled up like that. Your dad mowed the lawn and you sat on his lap? Yes, look into it. When I was a kid, I did. Thank you for the follow, Primal. Also, Long Duck Dong, thank you for the follow. Fireland, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. All of you who are following me, I appreciate that very much. If you're lurking, still trying to get to know me, I see you. I appreciate you too. Dr. Mick wants to be mummified? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I want to be cremated. I don't know what happens, but I want to know that it's final.
Welcome aboard.
Oh boy, this guy's going to freak out. Red! Okay, hold on. There's a cutscene coming up, so I want to say hi to everybody first. Red, thank you very much for the raid. Oh my goodness. So good to see you and all of your peeps. How are you? I saw you started streaming again, and I'm glad to see that. For those who don't know me from Red's channel, I'm DrMick. I'm a licensed couple and family therapist. I have a PhD in human development. This is Game Sessions with a Therapist, where I talk about mental health, therapy, psychology, all sorts of fun stuff while we play games. I don't do therapy on stream, but I bring lots of information to the masses. My goal is to destigmatize mental health and to destigmatize therapy, make it more approachable, show people that therapists can look like this. We're not all buttoned up drags. And yeah, so that's why I do this. And I'm really glad to have you here. Shout out to Red, by the way. Red is a fantastic artist. Like, absolutely mind-blowingly fantastic artist. She's absolutely incredible. So thank you for being here, Red, and for bringing your community. I appreciate that very much. So let's see, who am I missing? Thidian, hey, good to see you. Seems to be more people than normal. Indeed, I got rated by Zine and Red Rats. It's exciting. I've been doing quite well. How have you been? I've been doing well, Red. Been doing really well. I got married since last time we talked. Whoever the anonymous gifter who gifted that sub to Red Rats, thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate all of you being here. And again, those of you who have stayed through the raid and are hanging out with me, I appreciate you very, very much. I'm playing Death Stranding. For those who have not heard of it, it's like a sci-fi weird game made by Hideo Kojima, who is the creator of Metal Gear Solid. What you're about to watch, you know as much about it as I do. Okay? So, like, if you have no effing clue what's going on during this cutscene, I'm right with you.
Hey, you're gonna love this.
Oh, that's right. You did, Red. Thank you for the follow, Panda. So many pandas in here.
Are you hurt? Thanks, Bridges. I can't believe you're alive.
That's my line, silly.
I'm happy to hear that, Vanessa.
I thought you were dead.
My mom told me you were.
Lots of it, Zach. Lots of experience with it.
I kept it close. Always. But after the attack,
Don't make fun of me,
it
Anja.
stopped working. I thought about fixing it, getting the sand flowing again. But it felt too much like moving on. Like
Speaking
forgetting
of
you.
grief, my God.
Well, now we can both move on. Together, you and me. If you're ready.
Of course.
The man I knew. They don't peddle junk.
I don't know what's going
He
on.
fixed the things, made them like new again. Picking up the pieces and making the most of them. That's what I do best too. But this is one piece. We don't need.
No, she didn't.
The only time that matters is the time I spend with you. So let's count the moments ourselves together. I'm asking you to marry me, dummy.
That was not obvious.
I will. I do. Yes.
This is a roller coaster, man. What? We just witnessed a proposal.
Now that's
What?
it.
If you guys need some premarital counseling,
Don't
I'm your guy.
hurt, Mom. Please. Tell her this is what we want. Help her to understand and accept it.
Wait a second. What?
Because she needs us, and I need her.
All right. I'm pretty good at patching things up.
Wait. Do they have the same mom? I'm so confused. That was okay. Okay, that seemed a little bit weird. Also, Zine, yes, people will avoid handling it because it feels like a betrayal to their loss. People are often very afraid to move on and will hold a person internally because they feel like that's how they can keep that person alive. Sometimes a person not acknowledging their grief is their way of holding on to the person. It's like, if I grieve, then I'm letting you go. And it doesn't have to be that. That's a perception.
Sorry, I was such an asshole. I treated you and Fragile like shit.
Almost as if we were
make a fresh
fragile.
start with my girl. And though I can't do half of what you people do out there every day, I'm ready to pull my weight. If you need
No pun
anything
intended.
fixed, I'm your man. The UCA can count on me.
Hoorah!
It'll take some getting used to, but it's past time. We will join the UCA's network. I won't let you down. I swear.
I'm telling you, Victoria, I'm standing by it. I think I'm working for the bad guys. I have not wavered off of
I'll
that.
never forget you. Thank you.
Come on. Come on. What is happening? I don't know. Like, you can tell, right? Like, most of the voice acting in this game has been pretty decent. This was just odd. Oh, I want to see what part of the United States we're in. Where are we at? I mean, we're basically in what, Kansas? So maybe this makes sense. No offense to any Kansas people that are in here. Okay, that was a bad joke. It's a bad joke. But like, that was so weird. Okay, all right, whatever. We're on the Chiral network. That's what's important. We're getting everybody reconnected.
Is connected to the Chiral network now. Head for the next
Good night,
room.
Matt. Thanks for being here, dude.
To connect South Knot City, you'll need to make a delivery from Lake Knot City.
Huh? Not sure I follow.
Right, Coder? I'm with you on that, dude.
Let them print what they need.
Because you can't print everything. You do know that, right?
It
Food,
seems that way,
medicine,
Victoria. Yeah.
Organic compounds, that blood of yours that's proven so effective against BTs. None of that can be sent via the network. Only the old-fashioned way.
Of course.
The people of South Knot have been struggling ever since the last attack. Now, if they're to survive, they'll need all the supplies Lake Knot can spare. Head back there and pick up the order.
You got it, Die Hardman. And yes, that guy's name is Die Hardman.
Sometimes you might find yourself traveling home empty-handed, right? Wasted trip, I say. Make the most out of it by making sure you've always got an order on your back.
Who is this guy?
For instance, one just came in from the junk dealer.
Thanks,
A joint
Die Hardman.
request from him and the Chiral artist, looks like. I think it'd be in everyone's best interest if you took it on. Check the terminal for details.
Heads up, Sam. I'm detecting abnormal chiral levels to the north of South Knot City. The numbers indicate heavy timefall in the area. It appears to be some kind of storm, but nothing like anything I've ever seen before. Though, truth be told, I can't actually
Yeah,
see.
please do, Zach. If I missed something, just tell me.
Should be right outside my lab, but with the baby, I'm in no position to investigate. Doesn't seem to have done any real damage yet, but would you mind looking into it for me? Just be sure to keep your distance, all right?
Okay. Okay, thank you. Whoever just loaded that onto my thing. So, Zach, I see the post. I want to approach my wife with the idea of a polyamorous relationship. Is there a recommended way of going about this? Because I don't want to destroy the marriage, but I don't want to spend my life fighting a life that I want. Does that make sense? It does make sense. Okay, so I will say this in general, Zach. This is not specifically for your situation. This is just in general. Initiating a polyamorous relationship off of a monogamous relationship is very difficult. Requires a shit ton of direct communication and open and honest communication. I would recommend doing that with the support of a therapist, obviously. I think it's important whenever a request is made that's of any substantial consequence in a marriage or a relationship or otherwise. I really think it's important to speak about it, use like talking from one's experience, being ready for the potential response that's going to have if the person's hurt. It's easy to get defensive when we bring up something that we feel strongly about, knowing that it's going to hurt somebody. And I truly believe it's important to be able to anticipate that and intercept that with empathy and understanding. The thing is if that conversation doesn't go well, then that's going to tell you got a lot of work to do, because being able to navigate a polyamorous relationship successfully requires a significant amount of clear, open, honest communication, a willingness to set boundaries that may be difficult for the other person to take in. It just requires a lot of coordination. But I would absolutely recommend finding a therapist to talk through that with. I think that's super important. Hello, Zoiku. Good evening. But yeah, in my experience, so for those who don't know, as a therapist, I've worked with many polyamorous relationships. I actually advertise as working with polyamorous relationships. There's not a lot of people in Chicago that advertise that. And yeah, in my experience, I have worked with both polyamorous relationships that have been there from the start and polyamorous relationships that were monogamous at one point and then were opened up. And in both cases, it requires a significant amount of the open communication that I'm talking about. What is GBR? Good evening, Vix. I did have a good Thanksgiving. How was yours? All right, we're booking it. We are booking it. Mules are gonna find me. Oh no! Oh no! Oh my God! Oh, for Nebraska Huskers, nice. How do I explain to my significant other that it's going to a couples sex therapist is not a failure? He agreed that we could look into it, but I know he's really uncomfortable. He feels like he's failed to satisfy me, but I told him I enjoy him and the intimacy with him. He has to meet the issues and uncomfortable with intimacy. And always breaks the tension he feels with humor, ruining the moment that we both believe. How do I explain? Okay, so that's something that the therapist can help with, for one. But it's so, Gummy, this is going to sound really generic, and it's because it is. Empathy goes a long way. Curiosity about the discomfort, a willingness to hear that out, and still, I mean, be firm on the idea that, you want to go to therapy, but there's a reason that people feel the way that they do. And really listening to that and being kind and attentive and warm, talking about it as we're doing this as a team. This isn't me going in there trying to get the therapist on my side, that kind of thing. I think that's a really important way to address going to therapy in the first place up front. That it is a team endeavor, that it's a sign of strength, that we're doing it because I feel comfortable communicating with you, not because I feel uncomfortable communicating with you, etc. So I really hope I'm going the right way. My mom gets violent if I ask questions about her brother, like what he was like, and that lasts a week and the same time each year. I could see how that would be distressing, Shy Red. If that's putting you in danger, then I would obviously recommend... I would recommend to anybody in a situation where you're potentially putting yourself in danger by doing a thing to do your best not to put yourself in danger. I'm about as useful as a watch your steps sticker on an escalator. Gideon, I'm going to steal that. For now, I'm just adding anyone. No, that's fine. Thanks, Victoria. If you're cool doing that. It's not that I don't love and cherish my wife. She's the queen. It's just as a human being, I have desires. My wife's literally a goddess, but I have this one life and things I desire. I can express these feelings for long. No, it's Zach. You don't have to apologize, dude. It's what I'm here for. Again, I think it's all about the way that that gets communicated, right? And realizing that... here's the other thing I'll say. A lot of times when a monogamous relationship is moved in the direction of opening up, the person who is initiating the opening up of the relationship has often had a lot of time to think about it and think it through and make up their mind. And oftentimes when it's approached and brought up to the other person in the monogamous relationship, they have not had that same amount of time to build up in anticipation of that conversation. They haven't had the time to think that through in the same way that the person who's initiating it has. So it's really important to realize that person is likely going to need time to synthesize and make sense out of it, and is going to require a lot of support. And you just got to be ready to do that. That goes to anybody. Yeah, what's up, Kaladnar? Yeah, I got rated by Zine and Red Rots. Good night, Thidian. Thanks for being here, dude. I really appreciate it. Snickerdoodle McFlurries? Wait, that's a thing? I didn't know Snickerdoodle McFlurries is a thing. I went to McDonald's yesterday and I didn't see that. I got my normal M&M McFlurry. Did I tell you guys how many calories I eat every Monday when I go to McDonald's? By the way, you may be interested in what I have to say about mental health. Nutrition, not my forte. 5,000. Oh God, if it was 5,000, 2,600. I love me some Dairy Queen, if that's what you're referring to, CJ. I love me some Dairy Queen. I don't have one anywhere near me. Yeah, 2,600 calories. I had yesterday when I went to McDonald's, I had 2 McDoubles, a McChicken plain with cheese, 10 chicken nuggets, a large fry, a McFlurry with extra M&Ms, and a large Dr. Pepper. Washed it down with a nice tall bottle of water. Which I really shouldn't brag about that. That's not really it's not like a thing to brag about. But I go there every Monday and it's the same staff there every Monday, and every time the guy who brings the tray out to my table always looks at me like, wait a second, this is just for you. And I think now he's finally gotten used to it.
Be nice.
I'm blessed with a good metabolism. It ends up being the only thing I eat the entire day. It's not a healthy practice. Not recommended, but I love it.
Come a long way.
That's when you ask for 2 of everything and take it to go. But McDonald's reheated is disgusting.
Looking good. Looking good. Guess you were the right man for the job.
I used to work. Oh man, when I worked at GameStop in high school, there was a GameStop when I worked at GameStop, there was a GameStop right there. When I worked at GameStop, there was a McDonald's right there, and I used to eat McDonald's almost every time that I had a shift at GameStop. That was bad. Oh, I can paint my other stuff purple. I'm excited.
So, here's stuff you brought. Motor and a pouch.
Was it still GameStop? So it was EB Games when I first started working there, Derp, and then they made the shift to GameStop about a year or 2 into me working there. When it was EB Games, it was awesome. I loved working for EB Games. They were like all about You're a gamer, so use your gaming expertise to help other people.
Just got the
And then
evaluation results.
GameStop was so damn corporatized. It just,
Looks like both caught their eye.
they were a hard company to work for. I don't care for GameStop.
They really
I try to
couldn't
avoid
believe it was made
GameStop
from
if I
scrap.
can.
It can be fitted to a modified truck and be ready to go in no time. They contracted the junk dealer straight away.
I know you said you don't deal with the medication side of things, but I was kind of curious. Are you able to order lab tests if you think they're relevant? No. I have to make a referral to a general practitioner or to a psychiatrist in order for that type of thing, Skog. I can't order labs. I can't order lab work like that. You still have EB Games over here in Australia? Jealous shifted. Also, hello to my Aussies. I love Aussies being in here. I want to go to Australia so bad. Good night, Anthony. Thank you for being here. By the way, Anthony, I hope when I answered the rejection question that was helpful. If you said that it was, I didn't see it, or if it wasn't, but I appreciate the question because that really brought up a cool conversation. I'm really glad you were here. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Yeah. Okay, retrieval, sticky guns all the way from Lake Knots. Oh, man. Ooh, do I take the sewing kit to the cosplayer? Yes. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make that delivery before I go to Knot City.
They deliver living on.
Oh, I can make a truck now? What? Oh my God, I can make that truck. Holy shit, I'm pumped. This is awesome. They stopped me at customs and asked if I had ever committed any crimes. Apparently that still requirement was not the right answer. Oh God. I can't, I was never in Australia. Yeah, that's probably not a great choice. Oh yeah. Let's load this baby up. We can make a truck. I am downloading a car. I'm literally downloading a car. Look at that. I just remembered my EEG was good at something. Unfortunately, the doctor didn't speak a lot of German, but I guess the brainwaves are fine. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Bonnie. Thank you for the update. I remember having a bit of reaction briefly when the IMAX Dome, the Museum of Science Industry, showed their 3D flight demo. A streamer friend of mine had to stop streaming early because the game was giving her simulator sickness. I would probably get sick as well. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and accept that order then too. That's gonna save me time. Right, exactly, Victoria. Nobody knew what they were talking about. Please tell me this thing's not gonna come back up.
The stick gun, it's.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
I'm sure. Just come.
I don't care.
Hey, you're gonna
load it onto the vehicle. Thank you very much for that follow. Oodle? Oodle? Can I call you Oodle? I hope I can call you Oodle. Change the truck color? Oh yeah, I gotta make it purple. How do I do that? My friend just started his internship of being a psychologist, but I think he's getting a little depressed. He's doing criminal psychology, and all he ever talks about is the effed up stuff the murderer told me he did today. Any suggestion for honestly, goof off, the unfortunate part about that is that that's one of those things that, like, you really can only empathize with, like, what their emotional experience is, because you'll never be able to learn the particulars of it. So sometimes it's helpful to hear somebody just say, like, hey man, that must be so lonely to have to carry that alone by yourself, because it does. But just empathy, the same way you'd help anybody else out. It's easy to get lost in the content of that and to be like, oh, well, because this is like psychological stuff that I don't understand, I can't possibly empathize. And you totally can. It's all about the feeling. Could your gaming PC easily drive a VR headset? Probably not, D. I don't think so.
Footwear condition poor. Replacement is advised.
Hey, tree hugger. How are you? All right, we're gonna go. Where do I want to go first? Should I go all the way down to the Timefall? I'm gonna go down to the Timefall farm first, and then we're gonna work our way up. Hopefully this thing can drive on all of this. I really don't know if it can. We're gonna find out. It's even got the battery for it. Here we go. What'd you almost forget, Cladnar? Good night, Chalua. Thank you for being here. My assumption would also be that it needs to develop his own coping mechanisms or realize he's in the wrong place. Empathizing and helping is great, but that onslaught of negativity is going to be consistent in that career path. I mean, that's true too, unfortunately. That's a hard one because, man, if you sink all that time into going to school to be able to do that and then it ends up being that, sometimes people will force themselves to keep going. I'm not saying that that's what's going on for your friend, but that can be a really nasty spot to be in. Oh no. Oh no. I don't want history to repeat itself with my anxiety. The week I took the first steps to going back to college and work on becoming a therapist. Holy shit, you actually... Oh my god. Cladnar, that's so exciting. I'm so happy to hear that. Like I said, if there's anything I can do to support that journey, please let me know. I'll answer any questions you've got about that. Also, this would be another great time for me to say how much I appreciate how all of you have stayed through the raids and hung out with me. This is what most of the streams are like. It's just me chatting with amazing people, talking about whatever comes up that's mental health related, and yeah. So if you like this, you'll like being here. Bonnie, I don't need that. I don't need that kind of negativity. Oh yeah, I got my sweet shocks. This, am I even okay? Yeah, we're going to the cosplayer first. Deliveries are going well, Tree Hugger. I'm not driving this truck very well, but I'm enjoying the shit out of this game. No, Cladnar, it's a big deal. I'm really excited for you. It's awesome. Can I say something about the criminal psychology from a personal standpoint? Yeah, go for it, Shy. That's fine. Do you ever play Minecraft? CJ, I do on occasion. I don't really ever play on stream, though. I played Minecraft Golf with Lobro once. But I've dumped a lot of my time into Minecraft, but yeah, I don't stream it very often. Usually I stream Destiny 2. That's my game of choice. I started playing this and I can't get enough of it, and I only play this on stream, so right now streaming has really been filled with this game. I don't know. I'll probably play Jedi Fallen Order after this, after I finish this game, but it'll probably be a while before I finish this. I sometimes do community game nights with like Jackbox and stuff, by the way. I'm also a complete idiot for going this way because... God damn it. This thing's already halfway out of its... This is bad. I did not do this properly. Yeah, I saw you've been playing that on stream, Zine. I know so little about that game. We are playing GTA, right? Oh, this is just... What is this? Holy shit, I actually found... What? I had no idea there was something down here, so this is actually really ridiculous that I found this.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Fragile.
It hasn't exploded because it's a tank. Oh, I have to get the... Okay, I gotta get the stuff off the truck.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
A weapon to surpass Metal Gear? Wait, what? You must flip that truck over. I'm not good at driving vehicles in games either. I'm not good at driving vehicles in this game. For sure. Not good at it in this game. Awful. All right. Cosplayer. But hey, we have cosplay still going on in this day and age. Got to make sure that the Instagram influencers of this time
Delivering cargo.
able to get those likes. Not with that attitude, goof off.
Wow, great! You made it!
I did. Oh yes, they absolutely are, Bonnie. They absolutely
I
are.
told myself there were bound to be a few scratches, but looks like I was wrong.
You were wrong. I deliver it in perfect condition every time. Yeah, I'm not confident.
Can you make it? Whenever I mention your... If it is?
Get it on the network. Oh my god, I can feel the wall, you guys. I can feel the wall. That may have been the final delivery for the night. Oh. So let's get this baby on the network. And let's bid my adieus.
Look at all those moats.
D, thank you for those bits.
Tight and shiny.
Appreciate it.
You're getting paid today.
It's been so helpful having all of you here. It's helped me get closer to how I'm feeling. I'm so glad to hear that, D. What?
Sam Bridges. Welcome to our summer home by the falls.
Is this Conan?
Well, thanks for making the trip.
This is Conan. We found him.
You know what you're thinking. Is that an otter on my head? Or am I just happy to see you? Well, both. Actually, the otter's a member of the weasel family. I have weasels in my family, but enough about my brother.
Oh my god.
Man, you are tough. Hey, did you know that otters can survive without land? Oh yeah, they eat, sleep, even give birth, all in the water. The only thing they can't do in the water is drown. Such good swimmers, they. Okay. Wow, you laugh about as much as this guy. Hey, by the way, you should have this. It'll help you on your way. Yeah, don't worry about me. I've got an otter one. Come on. Come on, otter one? That's pretty good. Come. Oh, man, you're the only audience I've had in like 12 years.
And he gives me the hat. Seriously?
By the way, that hood was threaded by the hand of my cosplay partner. And she's amazing. It's triple stitched. That's got silk. She's incredible. Wear it and you too can ride the river rapids without fear. Unless you're afraid of looking too sexy.
I will put it on.
Right? Really? Still nothing? You know what? Fine. Just go. Just go, okay? Yeah, and make the river your friend. That'll be fun.
Good work.
Okay, I'll put it on.
Please access delivery terminal for food. Information.
Why didn't it work? Oh, it's the hood. It's got to be raining for me to put it on.